Imagine a future that's just around the corner where technology blurs the line between convenience and chaos. Charlie Brooker's Black Mirror is the chilling anthology that forces you to confront uncomfortable truths about the world we're building. From jaw-dropping twists to mind-bending concepts, these episodes will leave you questioning everything. Today, I'm breaking down the 5 most mind-blowing moments from Black Mirror that will haunt you long after the credits roll. Get ready to have your mind twisted. Let's dive in. White Christmas. White Christmas, the spine-chilling 75-minute Christmas special that closed out Black Mirror's second series, is a masterclass in unsettling storytelling. In this haunting episode, we're treated to multiple twisted narratives that explore the darkest corners of human desire and regret. From men using an invasive technology to live out fantasies in each other's bodies, to the disturbing idea of being blocked from someone's life so completely that you exist as a mute, blurred figure, White Christmas forces you to confront uncomfortable realities about control, identity, and isolation. But it's Ralph Esposito's character arc that truly lingers long after the episode ends. At first, you sympathize with him. He's been cruelly blocked, his partner has betrayed him, and he's left to wallow in his own misery. Yet, as the episode builds to its gut-wrenching conclusion, you realize the true depth of his torment. He's trapped in a surreal purgatory, forever confined to the kitchen of his ex-wife's father, a man he killed. Outside, his ex's child lies lifeless in the garden, the direct consequence of his own actions. The true horror comes when you realize that throughout this nightmare, he's forced to endure the soul-crushing irony of hearing "I wish it could be Christmas" every day on loop. It's a dark and unforgettable exploration of punishment, regret, and the weight of one's sins. National Anthem. National Anthem is the first ever episode, and it's based on the Prime Minister being blackmailed into having unprotected sex with a pig. It's not one of my favorite episodes, but the climax, where he has to go through with it, is extremely unpleasant. You feel for the Prime Minister as the episode builds up to this moment, with a constant countdown on the news. You're left wondering, are they going to find the person blackmailing him, or is he actually going to have sex with the pig? The aftermath, where he's in the bathroom being sick, is visually unpleasant, and you realize even more what he's just done and how disgusting it actually is. Shut Up and Dance is the only episode from Series 3 that made it onto the list, but it's another story about blackmail. Alex Lawther portrays a boy named Kenny, who is caught masturbating in front of his webcam to what you believe is porn. Unbeknownst to him, hackers recorded the footage and now send him on a series of tasks, threatening to leak the video if he fails. Along the way, you meet other victims of these hackers, like Game of Thrones star Jerome Flynn, who is being blackmailed for cheating on his wife. Throughout the episode, you feel for Kenny, who is just doing something harmless that a lot of teenage boys do. However, with Black Mirror, there's always a twist. At the end, Kenny is forced to fight to the death against another victim of the hackers, who was caught looking at photos of young girls. That's when you realize that Kenny wasn't just looking at online porn, he was looking at underage girls. This changes everything. You also think back to earlier moments in the episode, like when Kenny is at work, staring at a little girl and smiling at her. What better way to finish Series 1 than with this episode? In this world, people can relive their memories because they're all filmed through a grain implanted behind their ear, which allows them to play back everything they see and hear. When Toby Kebbell's character's wife cheats on him, he demands to see the footage through her grain. She tries to delete it, but is unsuccessful. While the video plays, it cuts to black dramatically, then reopens to reveal his house, where his wife and child are supposed to be. But it's not real, he's actually alone, and the absence of his wife's painting above the bed signals she's left him. The final part of the episode, where Toby's character walks through the house, cuts between reality and the footage from the grain. The visual contrast between the bright, happy memories in the grain and the gray, messy, empty reality is perfect. Ultimately, he enters his bathroom with a razor and starts to cut out the grain, as his memories flash before his eyes. It ends with his wife's face being the last one you see. In the Black Mirror episode Be Right Back, the show explores a chilling concept, resurrecting the dead through an archive of their entire online history. Imagine a world where the dead aren't truly gone, instead, they can be brought back in some form through the vast amounts of digital footprints they've left behind. The technology in this episode operates on different levels, and the most extreme form allows for a synthetic body to be created that mimics the deceased's appearance down to the finest detail. This is the painful choice Martha faces when her boyfriend, Ash, tragically dies. Desperate to bring him back, she turns to this technology. At first, it seems like a perfect solution. He looks exactly like the man she loved. But as time goes on, Martha begins to realize the truth. Despite his flawless exterior, this synthetic version of Ash is not truly him. The personality, the warmth, the spark that made Ash human are all absent. The emotional climax of this episode is, without a doubt, one of the most haunting moments in the entire Black Mirror series. Martha stands at the edge of a cliff with the synthetic Ash, pleading with him to jump. At first, the synthetic Ash refuses. He isn't programmed to understand suicidal thoughts or emotional turmoil. But as Martha insists, a subtle shift occurs. Ash begins to express fear and desperation, begging her to let him live. It's a heartbreaking moment of realization for Martha that the man she loved is truly gone, and the imitation standing before her can never replace him. In the final, devastating scene, Martha gazes into the distance, overwhelmed with grief and frustration, before letting out an agonizing scream that echoes the loss of both Ash and the life she once had. The screen cuts to black, leaving viewers with a haunting sense of emptiness and the unnerving thought of how technology can try, but ultimately fail, to replace the real essence of a person. This episode is a gut-wrenching exploration of love, loss, and the terrifying implications of technology's reach into our most intimate human experiences. Be Right Back doesn't just challenge our ideas about death and the afterlife, it makes us question the very nature of what it means to be human. So there you have it, the 5 most powerful moments in Black Mirror. Do you agree? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.